Hey everybody, welcome back to the Marvel Champions Monthly core set playthrough. Today we are going up against Ultron again, using Black Panther once again. But we're going to be doing Expert Ultron this time. So I'm choosing Black Panther because I think he has the best shot at winning this scenario, and what I've decided as I was playing through these is I'm going to play through all the content in Marvel Champions in progression order as a part of this series throughout the year. And I'm going to play each scenario once, and see what my win rate is at the end using the cards that came out up until that point. So there's going to be some losses in Galaxy's Most Wanted land, but so far we're 5-0 in the core set, and we used all 5 of our core set multiplayer built decks. After this, we'll be releasing the solo deck building video, because once we get a few hero packs, we can really start thinking about solo deck building versus multiplayer deck building and talk about what that means. So I'm just shuffling up the villain deck real good here. I haven't actually shuffled my Black Panther deck since the last time we played. You can see Nick Fury's hanging out right there, so we're going to give this one a good pile shuffle just to be safe. I'm going to actually adjust the camera just a teensy bit and see if we can get a little bit more play space, because against Ultron, let's face it, we might need it. Nope, that's zooming in. We want to zoom out, right? Alright, I feel pretty good about that much play area. I totally won't run out of space like I have in every other video. Alright, we've got our 22 hit points out there. Gonna finish pile shuffling with Black Panther. Hopefully you can see what's in my hand. Again, as with all my expert playthroughs, I'm going to try to really talk through the decision making in my hand. I feel like I did pretty good with that with Rhino, but not so good with Claw, because I was so nervous about living. But with our friend Black Panther, we don't have that problem. We're totally going to make it through this without any problems, because that's how Ultron always goes. It's not true. Let's get our 11 hit points out there. We've used almost all of our hit point counters over here on Ultron, so we're running out of tokens here. But we can make do. And I did already shuffle this deck, so first thing I'm going to do is create an Ultron drone. Second thing I'm going to do is draw my opening 6. Alright, so we've got a Vibranium suit. We've got a Golden City right away. That's beautiful. The rest of this is garbage. We don't even need this Wakanda Forever right away. We'd rather draw into double resources. So let's finish our hand out. We've got a Panther Claws. This is still pretty good. We get to search our deck for a Black Panther upgrade and see Tactical Genius is there, Shuri is there, Energy Daggers are there. Let's go ahead and grab those Energy Daggers and see just how well we can hold on here. Alright, that deck is fairly shuffled. Let's go ahead and use Get Ready and Vision to play the Golden City. We haven't seen any double resources yet, so we're going to use Golden City to draw 2 cards. We get a Get Ready and a Wakanda Forever. Let's use those two to play Energy Daggers. And I think we're going to use Make the Call and Panther Claws to play Vibranium Suit, just so we can maintain some health and clear minions every turn. We're going to flip up and use Black Panther to eliminate this drone, which was an Avengers Mansion. And we are ready to go for Ultron's first turn. So let's draw our opening hand to 5. We're going to be flipping quite a bit at the beginning, but we're going to try to not let it get out of phase 2. In our second hand, we have Lead from the Front, Avengers Mansion, Strength, Get Ready, and Wakanda Forever. So we'll probably pay 4 for an Avengers Mansion, play Wakanda Forever, attack, and flip down. So one threat going on in the main scheme. Ultron is going to attack us, and he now has an interrupt because he's in Form 2. So he places a drone before attacking, and he swings at us with +1 attack per drone. So that's an attack of 3 coming at our face. We're going to take the first hit here. So 3 plus 0. I'm not going to run out of space, except I already did, right? So cute. Cute me. So we take 3 damage, and Ultron takes 1 from Retaliate. The drone hits us for 1, and then becomes defeated. And then we get 1 encounter card, which is an Assault. So he's going to attack us again, creating another drone. And we're going to take it again, so it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Ow, we are down to 1 health. And we've hit Ultron for 2. So we are going to be a recovering this turn. It's our go. Let's go ahead and pay 4 to play that Avengers Mansion. I don't know why I threw an Assault in my discard pile. I've changed where I put all my cards. What a mistake. So we played Mansion. We're going to draw with it. We drew into a Genius. We're going to play Wakanda Forever. So first we're going to Energy Daggers everything for 1. That's going to do 1 to Ultron and defeat this drone. Then we're going to heal 2 from ourselves and deal that damage to Ultron. Finally, we're going to end by thwarting the main scheme. There's no chance it doesn't pop, actually. So I'm just going to let that be, because we're going to get an auto threat, and Ultron's going to scheme for 2. So if we're going to let it pop, let's let it go to 2, and then Ultron's over scheme doesn't matter. But now we're not exhausted, so we flip down. We can recover right away, which it seems like since we took a lot of damage, that's probably necessary. We're going to use Golden City and see if we draw into anything we can play. We do. We draw into a Shuri, who can go ahead and fish up our Tactical Genius, which we'll keep in hand for next turn. So we've got a pretty sweet setup here with Avengers Mansion and Golden City in Alter Ego form. We're basically starting with 9 cards in hand. So things are pretty hot right now. So we're going to keep Tactical Genius in hand, draw our remaining 5 cards, which are Wakanda Forever, Vibranium, Maria Hill, Mockingbird, and Lead from the Front. So lots of good things that we're going to get to play. Ready everything up. Shuri can punch for 1, so she may as well, and she's ready as well. Villain phase. 1 threat going in the main scheme. Like I said, we're going to let it pop, so he's going to scheme for 2 plus an advance. That's always great to see. That will pop the main scheme, meaning we create a drone, and then that drone will scheme for 1. And now at the beginning of the villain phase, when we place threat, we place extra threat for that assault on NORAD. We've got an encounter card coming at us, and it's an android efficiency, which will force us to create yet another drone, but that's okay, because there's no more Black Panther upgrades in our deck for now, so we can Energy Daggers all of those dead when it's our turn. So let's go ahead and Golden City and Avengers Mansion. It's going to draw us 3 more cards, and we are just going to have an insane turn here. We're going to use Power of Leadership to play Maria Hill, who's going to draw us another card. We are going to, let's see, Mockingbird Lead from the front and make the call a Helicarrier into play. And we'll use that to play Ancestral Knowledge, which is going to shuffle things back into our deck. So we're going to shuffle a Vibranium, a Wakanda Forever, and our Panther Claws back into our deck. And our deck at this point is real thin. So we're going to draw a ton of those cards in our opening hand, and hopefully none of them become drones, because that would be a bit of a bummer. I think I did my math a little bit wrong here. I thought we were going to be able to play our Tactical Genius and Wakanda Forever, but it doesn't look like we can. So we're probably going to prioritize Wakanda Forever. We're going to flip up. We're at 7 health. We're going to use Vibranium to play Wakanda Forever. So again, first we'll Energy Daggers and kill those 2 drones, Nick Fury and Triskelion. Second, we'll heal 2 from ourself onto Ultron, popping him down to 13. We've got lots of really good jump blockers here. So Shuri's going to thwart for 1. Maria's going to sit for a turn, because she could punch for 1, but we're going to try to save her. And we're going to leave Tactical Genius in our hand and draw 4 cards. Wakanda Forever, Vibranium, and Energy. So next turn, we can play 2 Wakanda Forevers and a 3rd Black Panther upgrade. Unfortunately, our Panther Claws might become a drone. Alright, the villain phase begins. So they're going to place 1 threat, and we're going to let them place 2 extra, because we do not want to lose our Panther Claws. Ultron is going to attack us. 1 in 3 chance of Panther Claws being there. And he's swinging for 3 plus something, but that's why Shuri's here. So Shuri takes 5 to the face. Totally fine. We take 1 from this drone and see what it is. It is not Panther Claws. We are dealt an encounter card. He heals 1 for each drone, otherwise he surges. That's going to surge. Let me put that facing the same way as the other cards. It's going to surge into an Affairs of State, so we can flip to Alter Ego and Exhaust to get rid of that. Remove it from the game. That feels really good. And now it's our go. Wowzers. So we got a free flip down, which is going to let us Mansion and Golden City. So we draw Hawkeye and Panther Claws, shuffle our deck, deal ourselves an encounter card. We're still owed 1 card. This is just rolling in the direction we needed to. That was a really perfectly timed obligation, and this is like a really good point. These obligations can actually be super favorable to you if they allow you to flip and use your alter ego abilities without having to pay the cost of the villain scheming. So that's what happened to us, and we'll take advantage of it. So we're owed 1 more card still. We're going to use an energy to play Tactical Genius. We're going to use Vibranium to play Panther Claws. We have all 4 Black Panther upgrades in play now. We have 2 Wakanda Forever's lead from the front and Hawkeye in hand. We're probably going to save Hawkeye. Let's flip up and use a Helicarrier to play our first Wakanda Forever. So now we have to be very particular in the order we do things. So we're going to Energy Daggers everything for 1. We are going to heal 1 from ourselves onto the villain. We're going to remove 1 threat from the main scheme and then Panther Claws for 4, putting the villain down to 7. We then will use lead from the front to play the other Wakanda Forever, and we're going to do basically the same order. We're going to Energy Daggers for 1. We're at 9, so we want to heal 2 from ourselves actually. So we're going to Panther Claws for 2. We'll remove 1 threat from the scheme, and then we are going to heal 2 back onto ourselves, putting us at full health. We will have Maria thwart that last threat away, just because we're probably going to use her to chump block this turn, and we'll hold on to Hawkeye for next turn because he can start sniping drones as they come out. So we're going to ready everything up and draw 4 cards. We have Power of Leadership, Get Ready, Triskelion, and Avengers Mansion. No Wakanda Forevers, but we do have some draw, so we'll see. The villain is going to get 3 threat because we are not putting any drones out that we don't have to right now. He's going to create a drone and swing at Maria Hill for a bunch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, Maria Hill. That's what I wanted you to do. The drone will attack us for 1, and we'll retaliate it dead to make the call. And we have 2 encounter cards. So the first one are some Concussive Blasters, giving him Retaliate 1, a thing to get rid of, and an Exhaustion, which is going to exhaust Black Panther and Surge into a Shadow of the Past. There we go. Every game, we are hitting shadows hot. So we've got a 3-threat side scheme out here that we definitely have to deal with. We do not need extra encounter cards against Ultron. We've got Retaliate. We've got a Black Panther dude with no attack events in hand. We are ready for this to be over. So I'm just shuffling the villain deck to shuffle in those cards. And we will go to our turn. So we're going to draw 1 with Mansion. We draw a lead from the front. So this is going to be a little unorthodox and weird, but I think we're going to use Triskelion and Power of Leadership to play Hawkeye. He comes into play with a bunch of arrow counters, 4 arrow counters. We are going to use Helicarrier and Avengers Mansion to play lead from the front. That's going to make Hawkeye a 2/2. Which is really important because we want to get rid of this hazard side scheme. Everything else we can handle for a turn, but not the hazard side scheme. So we're going to thwart for 2. We're going to use that get ready in our hand to ready Hawkeye and thwart for another 1. Something Hawkeye has never done in his life, thwart a villain. We are going to have Killmonger punching us in the face. We are going to have a huge Ultron punching us in the face, but we're at 10, so I think that puts us in pretty good shape, and hopefully we draw into some Wakanda Forevers. So we have Strength, Nick Fury, Vision, Get Ready, and Wakanda Forever. So this is a pretty good setup here, if we can survive the turn. Villain phase begins. We're going to let them go to 6 threat. Don't really like that. Ultron's going to swing at us for 4 plus something. And actually 3 plus something, because we'll have Hawkeye snipe that drone dead. Now, do we want to defend with Hawkeye? I think I do, even though I like him absorbing drones. I'd rather not take the damage. So it becomes 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that would have been too much for Black Panther to face tank. Killmonger is going to hit us for 2 and take 1 from Retaliate, which is really important. We need to get some damage in on Killmonger. And we have 1 encounter card here, which is an advance. Oh, this is real bad. So he is going to scheme for 2. Wrong deck. 2, 3, 4. That is going to push us into the end game here, kids. And we have got to get Ultron dead, and we've got to get him dead fast. Oh, bummer. Okay, so basically we have 5 turns, and we cannot flip down any more to defeat Ultron, because threat cannot be removed from Scheme 3B. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. The first thing we're going to do on our turn is pay 4. Well, let's draw a card with Mansion. Let's not be crazy. It's a second Wakanda Forever. That's really good to know. So I think we're going to pay with Helicarrier, Vision, and Strength to play Nick Fury. He's going to draw us 3 cards. We have Make the Call, Get Ready, and Lead from the front. So we have 2 get readies to go with our Nick Fury, which is pretty crazy. We also have to play our 2 Wakanda Forevers. So let's have Nick Fury punch Killmonger for 2, because I still think we want to maintain the board state. We're going to get ready with Nick Fury and punch Killmonger for another 2 to get rid of him. That feels pretty good. We do have the 2 energy resources to get rid of concussive blasters, which seems like it could be important with that retaliate out there. So you have to exhaust your hero as well. Wow, that's given up a lot of damage. Because we could Panther Claws and really just go to Clown Town here. When he goes to phase 3, he's going to get a side scheme, if I remember right. Ultron's Imperative. Is that in our discard pile? Do we get to know what that does? Can I remember what that does? I believe it spawns some drones. So we probably want to save energy daggers for that. I think I'm okay leaving the concussive blasters out for 1 more turn. So we are going to, with lead from the front, pay for Wakanda Forever. What we're going to do is we're going to punch Ultron for 2. Which is going to push him to the 3rd phase. We're going to go find that Ultron's Imperative side scheme, which says the first player puts the top 2 cards of their deck into play, engaged with them as drones. And Ultron now says drone minions get +1 attack and +1 hit point, and Ultron cannot take damage while there are drone minions in play. So that's a problem for us. We've got 2 threat on this side scheme, which is good. Because the next thing we're going to choose to do, well, first let's put out Ultron's health, which is 27, also known as a lot, in case you're keeping track at home. That's how you bookkeep it. And we do take 1 damage from our Panther Claws, because that was an attack, and he has Retaliate, which is obnoxious. We're going to remove 1 threat from Ultron's Imperative with our Tactical Suit. We're going to heal 1 damage from ourself onto one of these drones, I guess. And then we're going to Energy Daggers, which is not an attack, 2 to everything. So that's going to knock out all 3 drones and set it up so we can actually punch Ultron. So now we're going to use Get Ready with Wakanda Forever to go swinging again. And now we're going to do a little bit different of an order. We're going to remove 1 threat from Ultron's Imperative to get rid of that excess side scheme. We're going to Energy Daggers 1. We're going to heal 1 and then take 1 from Retaliate, so we don't actually heal, but we did a damage. And then we're going to deal 4 and take 1 from Retaliate, putting him down to 24 and us down to 7. We're going to hold Make the Call in hand to play Nick Fury again next turn, because Nick Fury is going to block an attack for us. We do still have our base attack, so we'll punch for 2 and take 1 Retaliate, putting him down to 22. So our hand now is Make the Call, Mockingbird, Wakanda Forever, Power of Leadership, and Ancestral Knowledge. All right. So what does Ultron do? He gets a threat. He is going to attack us for 5 plus something, but he no longer poops out drones, which is great. So Nick Fury is just going to block this. It's going to be a 5, 6, 7. Nick Fury is defeated. Totally okay. Next, we're going to deal an encounter card to ourselves. It is Ritual Combat. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. Choose to deal X damage to your hero or place X threat on the main scheme, where X is 1 more than the number of boost icons. That would be 4 threat in the main scheme defeating us. So we're just going to have to take 4 damage, which is bad because we can't do a lot of attacking if we're going to take all that damage. It's our go. We're not exhausted. Let's draw a card with Mansion. It's an Inspired. I think we're going to use Ancestral Knowledge, Inspired, Mockingbird, and Power of Leadership to play a Nick Fury. And here's where things get a little weird. So do we draw 3 cards and deck out, which could be real dangerous, or do we just pop him for 4? We still have our Wakanda Forever that we can play. We're on thin ice with Wakanda Forever, though. I think we draw the 3 cards and see if we draw into a Vibranium, which we do, so we can get rid of that nasty, nasty Retaliate. Because we need to. We need to. That's going to let us sit in hero form a little bit longer, but we are decking out, and this is a really bad time to do so. So just shuffling my deck up to get all the cards I need here. And I get one more card. It's a Maria Hill. Oh my goodness, things are beautiful. So I think what we're going to do is pay with Vibranium Exhaust to get rid of that Retaliate, something we probably should have done last turn. We are going to use Helicarrier to pay for this Wakanda Forever. So he no longer has Retaliate, but we still want to heal last in our chain, I believe. So we're going to punch everything for 1. We're going to remove a threat, but we can't. We could punch him for 2 and then heal 2, or we could punch him for 4. I think we want to punch him for 2 this turn, and then next turn we start punching him for 4. So we punch him for 2, then we heal 2 back onto ourselves. So he is down to 15 after Nick Fury attacks him. We don't have a 1-cost ally to play from our discard, but we're going to hold on to... We're going to discard Maria Hill and hold on to make the call for Nick Fury. So we've got a Get Ready, a Genius, another Make the Call, and a Vibranium. So we're going to be making the call a lot of allies next turn if we can survive this round, which I think we can. We'll see. We've got 1 threat going on in the main. We just need not in advance, right? Not in advance. Swinging for 4 plus whatever into Nick Fury. Spend a mental, which we will definitely do, or create a drone. So Nick Fury is toast. We have 2 encounter cards here. The first one is Under Fire. We have 3 encounter cards here. We have a Program Transmitter. That is totally fine this turn. We have a Concussive Blast that's going to deal 1 damage to each character you control. Totally fine. And we have a Vibranium Armorer. After the villain takes damage, give it a Tough status card. That is a thing that I don't want to see. That is gross. So let's see what we can do. We got to do 15 damage. I think the first thing we do is we mention a Triskelion into our hand. Then we use Vibranium and Genius, I think, to make the call with Nick Fury and draw 3. So we've got a lot of good stuff here. I think what we're going to do is use Power of Leadership and Helicarrier and exhausting our character to get rid of that Tough status generator, because we cannot handle that. We will use Helicarrier to play Wakanda Forever. So this time we're going to switch our order up a little bit. We're going to try to remove threat. We can't. We're going to heal 1 onto the villain, so he's taking 1 damage. We're going to Energy Daggers him for 1, and then we're going to hit him for 4, which is going to hit him for 9, or down to 9 total. We've got Nick Fury with 2 with a Get Ready, so Nick Fury can hit him for 4. I think that's all we can do. I think we're going to pitch the Triskelion, because all we need to do is draw into a Wakanda Forever at this point, and hope we don't see a ton of healing or threating. We draw into 2 Wakanda Forevers, 2 lead from the front, set of Venture Expansion. Nick Fury's not coming back out this turn. It is the villain's go. They are getting... Where did all my threat tokens go? 1 threat. 3 threat in the man scheme. He's swinging at Nick Fury for a hot 4 plus something. 4, 5, and heal 1 damage for each drone minion, but there are none, so that is great. Nick Fury is dead. Top decking a card here. If it's an advance, we lose. It is a drone factory. Each player puts the top card of their deck face down, engage with them as a drone minion. Place 1 threat here for each drone minion in play. Totally not a problem for us. So we're going to end up with 5 threat there. My onesie-twosies threats have disappeared. Oh, there they are. They're hiding off camera. And we get a drone minion, so we can't damage him until that drone minion is dead. But it is our go. We can swing, attack into that drone minion with Black Panther. We can draw 1 from Mansion, which is hilarious. We can use this Get Ready to play a Wakanda Forever. So that is going to let us heal. Let's go the slow way. We'll remove 1 threat. We'll Energy Daggers for 1. We'll pop him for 2, just to see how high we can get our health by the end of this turn. And then we'll heal 2 back onto ourselves. We'll play another Wakanda Forever, so here we're going to pop him for 2. We could heal to 8 if he had more hit points in his hit point pool, but he doesn't, because we won. We have defeated Ultron. So we are 6-0 going through the core set. Super jazzed about that. Can't wait to see how things go once we start adding more cards to the pool. If you're a new player, be sure to like and subscribe. We're going to continue this playthrough series, as I said, through all the villains and Marvel Champions. So if you just got this game for the holidays, last holiday season, I know we're a little bit behind where I wanted to get through with all my new player content, But you can watch and play this game with me in sort of a progression style play where every couple of weeks I'll put a few more matches up and I'll play through a few more villains with a few more hero cards in my deck building pool. So thanks for tuning in. As always, I'm KennedyHawk from the MCM team. Have a great day.